And lower stakes here in the Swiss, but still these two teams have gone at it time and time again in their region. And it's about G2 closing it out because Gen.G beat them last time. Recently, I know you talked about the record, but recently it was Gen.G finally besting them. When everyone said G2 couldn't be touched, Gen.G broke that armor and broke their perfect split.
Yeah, it's a nice infield pass attempt there by Gen.G, but Jack wasn't quite ready to make a move onto it. Beast mode, more than ready to collect that lob pass. It went into the backboard, a bit too high for him to double downwards. End-to-end stuff as we kick things off. And now Chronic and First Killer getting extremely tangled there. That's the kind of mistake that Gen.G can't afford to be making. They have made quite a few mistakes against G2 in their losses against them this season. They need to be so careful not to let those double commits happen. It's a free shot for G2. That was off the crossbar.
Yeah, First Killer almost setting up the opponent for success, but here's Gen.G moving forward, not letting G2 break out of their own half. But Atomic can lead that charge, but Jack reads it off the wall. But with that demo, it's a 3-on-2 for G2 as Beast Mode wants to drop it off, and the demo, clears up the ball. Daniel recovers. G2 put on the press. Gen.G, their backs are against the wall. Off the ceiling too. Beast Mode's just like that, but Jack making the space, being physical. Little backflip there. G2 turns the play on its head, and that's an open net.
That's far too easy from Gen.G's POV, but G2 will take it. Atomic with the backflip to pop the ball over the last player. And it looks like Chronic was looking for boost. He didn't stay back in that goal line area. Didn't expect to need to. And G2 get a goal against a bit of a careless Gen.G, but a Gen.G who were boost starved. So it is somewhat understandable that they would panic and look for boost.
Oh, a pass. Almost the First Killer broken up by G2. Counterattack, but Chronic missed that touch. Jack is there in the back. Collects the corner, shoves Atomic out of the picture. Now Gen.G can pass, transition, G2 playing back. And Beast Mode with the challenge. Oh, even gets the second touch and forces Chronic to make the save. Atomic off the cross. Beast Mode whips it to the corner as Atomic is gonna deny this clear from Gen.G. And up top, G2 really putting on the pressure as Daniel up high to the backboard. This comes out to Atomic. First Killer saves. This is insane.
Oh, that was a counterattack opportunity for Gen.G off the back of that constant G2 pressure. They weren't able to make it land. Gen.G have been the team under the most pressure by far in this first game. It seems like that opening goal for G2 gave them all the confidence to continue attacking, but Gen.G have survived it, still only trailing by 1. Now looking to get going the other way with Chronic. Ceiling double tap. It's on, but saved by Beast Mode.
Oof. Oh, and the follow-up. Yeah, that's the key. Gen.G need to not just survive, they need to thrive. And they've showed us that they can play up to their potential and play up to a team like G2. As Jack forced off by Daniel. Beast Mode playing close to his friend, his duo, and G2. Their offense can't seem to get going on this right side. You gotta go up high, but Gen.G counterattacking, beats the defender, and it's in!
Oh, wow, play by First Killer. Last man dives as Atomic gets dispossessed by First Killer. Daniel thought First Killer would take longer to get back to that ball. First just got underneath it, flipped it up and over him before he could get the challenge in. 2 minutes and 6 seconds to go. Gen.G tie the game.
This is close, this is close. How is this North American standoff going to end in Swiss? For now, it is a demo that favors Gen.G, I believe. So now just needing to rob Daniel with this ball. And Chronic's doing his best, carving through the left. Gen.G with midfield presence, but Daniel can't seem to break through. First Killer chops off the ball, didn't have any boost, so Jack steps up, and Beast Mode not having much boost either. Had the reset off the ceiling, drops it off to the opponent, and it's just a mix-up between the two.
Well, just Chronic a little bit of space here, pops it over the top of Atomic's challenge. Daniel just about got there in time. You can see him really throwing his body at that one in real life as he tries to get as much movement as possible. I'm sure you guys have all done that in your own games. Leaning into the corner. Ball's trickled wide here for Gen.G, who are going to be a lot happier with the tail end of this game. They were really up against it when they were down 1-0. They survived that brief 30 seconds to a minute where G2 were all over them. Now they seem like they're back under control. Safe defensive 50s by Gen.G when called upon.
Last minute, you heard it. Oh, that's away from Atomic, but it's still safe. Beast Mode salvages the moment. As Gen.G back pass, trying to stabilize themselves. Daniel now caught him in a weak moment with that demo, but the ball is up high. And G2, man, they could really have that offense going for a second. The next goal could be the nail in the coffin for this game one as Atomic off the back wall has Gen.G scrambling.
Oh
They're diving, and somehow this is not in for G2. Beast mode and Atomic. Gen.G managed to cover their bases. Now striking and puncturing through that midfield. It's sent right back to the orange half as Atomic wanted to redirect, and he's still threatening that back line of Gen.G, who just are barely able to get to that blue half. Daniel with an attempted pass, double commit from Gen.G. This will be recovered by G2 easily. Going forward is Beast mode with the reset against Jack. Falls to Chronic's lap. Atomic up next. Pass to the box, no. It's overtime.
Of course, it is going to be OT game one between NA's two top teams. Both teams had late scares in that regulation. Who's going to get the strong start in OT? Looks like G2 have got the first opportunity, but Jack has done really well there, getting a couple of plays on the ball in a row, but the 50-50 seem to be the key to this match at the moment. Both teams playing it very safe. That's a good pass, but pounced on by Chronic.
Oh,
wait, whoa!
Just goes in. Oh, just when you thought you were out of the woods, you broke up the pass. G2 steal. What's nice about this match for both teams is they faced each other so much, so they know what to expect. I wonder how much preparation you do. It's the same prep you would do every final. But G2 lead the series going into game two. And it's a quick start out of Gen.G. Chronic slamming the back wall already. Daniel holds his own. It's a beast mode team pitch all the way across. Okay.
Well, that was so creative by G2 to even spot the opportunity of the team pinch there. Not the conventional team pinch, but you know, one player coming down, one player going up. That's open, surely. And it's off the post. Jack wasn't there in time. Well, that should have been 1-0 for Gen.G. The center ball came through, but it was too quick.
This is quick. Now it's back to the orange side. Atomic's there first, and this post had it coming. Surely is the key word to this game, too. Surely that goes in. Daniel harasses, wins against two defenders. Jack's attention is summoned, and G2 really know how to shake up Gen.G.
A nice half flip catch there by Atomic. Keeps perfect control. Beast mode has been a real problem for Gen.G today. He's been the most aggressive player in that final third. When Beast mode's confident, you know that it's going to be a good day for whatever team he's on. He's had a lot of lands in the past where he's been in the conversation for #1 at the event. That could be another test for G2. Okay. Atomic's not able to catch up to it before the shooting angle closed. But the clears are not really putting too much pressure on G2 here. Great touch by Beast mode to himself, and then a heavy touch to get rid. And look how much more pressure that puts on Gen.G. They're really getting more power in these exchanges.
Okay, first killer at the reset. Sets Gen.G up. Jack crossing from side to side. Both third mans from these teams need to be careful and ready in net for anything. It's been quick transitions. Now with the demo, Gen.G relieved that offense from G2. Still, Atomic won't let this go by, and back wall being tested there by Chronic. Now he can go up high, and you would think, but G2, their midfield, so good, forcing 50s. That forced Gen.G to take a step back sometimes. And G2 hunting Atomic, leaving it up to beast mode. Now gets so much time and space, you would think, but Chronic just waits for his moment.
Oh, that's another great chance for Gen.G. Surely no first killers hit the post as well. Well, they've hit both posts now with technically open nets. None of them are easy. I mean, you've got to go quickly there, but you should be scoring. And Gen.G cannot throw away too many of these opportunities, or at least you would think so. That being said, they have had more of them come up. So will they find their shooting boots in time? Oh, G2 have had chances as well. I mean, this is a dangerous game for both teams.
G2 getting really physical, but first killer against beast mode. Pops it across the net. Jack too late, but hoping to slow down Daniel, because here comes G2 trucking down the midfield, but it's a good stop from Gen.G, and the counterattack, and it always has G2's third man thinking twice about how he wants to move down this field. Now Gen.G have Atomic in beast mode, putting their backs against the wall as Jack climbs up high. Daniel and beast mode cross, not letting Gen.G exit at all. And Atomic has a setup. Seems like G2 have all the time in the world to keep passing, but Chronic tries to break it up as much as he can.
Yeah, so far G2 have managed to keep Gen.G in this kind of position, but Gen.G haven't made any crucial mistakes. That is, you know, for me, the defensive key for Gen.G is not to make any big blunders, but they, at some point, they do have to score one of these open nets. They've got to take one of these chances. G2 again, pushed back by Gen.G, but keeping perfect control. And now looking to counter with Daniel, just leaving the ball, actually, letting Gen.G get a hit so that his teammate coming behind him. Very selfless play by the NA Wonder Kid.
Ooh, Jack had the reset off the wall, and first killer. I think if Gen.G play a bit closer, these passes are going to become deadlier. Atomic, the beast mode off the post!
Goodness.
I know, I see your jaw on the floor. You're just, how is this still 0-0? Surely someone can score. Surely is the key word. 45 seconds, Gen.G harassing. Off the back wall though, first killer waits. Jack sets up, and G2 transition across. Chronic holds the ball, has to take it up the wall too. First killer, second man beside him. Gen.G, red carpet down to the blue end. Now being able to take that corner boost, Gen.G have a lot to work with, but taking this from Daniel is gonna be tough. And that's a Gen.G that could score. No, Atomic stops it.
Well, that was another good chance for Gen.G, but you think G2 have probably had the better ones, and they've got very unfortunate not to score already this game. Can Gen.G get into overtime again? It looks like an awkward position for them here. G2 are lining up to attack them. Solid challenge by Chronic. First killer going to get on the end of this, and he does let the ball bounce. It's into OT for the second game in a row.
Oh my God. And off of some, well, just the pace of play has really picked up from game one, so I could see that accuracy is uncharacteristically falling, but see how this ends. Oh, Daniel getting the pass, Jack slowing it down to the corner. And first killer's gonna help him out as Atomic helps out Daniel in that moment.
Oh my.
Midfield for G2 after that demo. And you see Atomic chasing in the back line, and Gen.G, they will not be flustered, but they don't have the ball to really counterattack with until first killer. His 50 almost went to a fellow teammate of Gen.G. Now it may be up to these demos to create these gaps, to look for an opening to end this overtime once and for all.
Oh, Atomic's head of this. Decides to pop it high. Must have not have lined up for the shot, possibly. As now Beast Mode gets involved in the attack. Not a lot of boost to his name. Dispossessed by Jack. It's all about possession play for G2. They're not afraid to back pass in these midfield exchanges, which is great to see from a team filled with mechanical solo players. They're still opting for the team play when it's available.
Gen.G starting to get boost starved. Now they go back and they seem okay, but Chronic could use some help, and Jack lands that right into G2's lap, right where they expect it. As Gen.G, their offense hasn't been kicking too hard in this overtime. Daniel gets slowed down there right to the corners. G2, want to kick off. A better offense than that, but maybe a chance for Jack to set up Chronic, but the bounty couldn't read it, so first killer steps up.
Oh,
it crosses in front of the net, and Jack took the shot, saved by Atomic. And G2, they will not stop here. Daniel, but right at the corner. Chronic tries to stabilize the team.
Well, I have no idea how we haven't had a goal yet. This is ridiculous. Incredible last-ditch save by Atomic. You know, Gen.G could be taking these shots earlier, before the save is even possible. Can Jack redeem himself here with a solo play? Hands it off with the air double bump pass, and double tap deny Daniel with a great read on his own backboard.
Oh, great job, and I think G2 tried the long pass, broken up by Gen.G in front of the net is dangerous. Early touch though by Daniel, sent right back by Chronic. Jack in front of the net, double commit from G2, at least it saves. And we're over 2 minutes in overtime as G2 hold their own. Here comes Gen.G, bringing the game to him, but it's 3-on-2 for Gen.G, and it's over for Jack! Gen.G, tie it up!
Well, Jack, but you know, well played to Gen.G to deny a second game to G2 there. We're 1-1, we're all tied. And now here comes Daniel with a huge attempt off the backboard. It's gonna miss. That was a great strat off the kickoff from G2.
We just started. We're still walking up to our monitors, but Gen.G, my player to watch, has been Jack, the way he can transition his team and look for the perfect setup off these sidewalls, but Daniel's now flicking it above. The defenders are being stressed. And Gen.G, now they go forward. First killer against Beast Mode. Just shoved off as Chronic has all 3 defenders that he's trying to break up, and this pass almost comes out to Gen.G to capitalize on, but G2 holds strong.
Yeah, first killer did win the race to that mid boost. The G2 have got back off for the time being. Daniel's Again, solid behind the ball in the back corner. Atomic joins him. That's a bit of a traffic jam now for G2 at that near post area, but of course, they're so solid with their defensive 50s that they keep control of the situation anyway. Chronic's being chased on his own back wall right now by Daniel. The aggression off the ball has definitely been a key element of this game so far. Double tap from Beast Mode will not be defended this time, and it's 1-0 G2.
G2 fired up after that one. I see Jack on the other side, keeping the team nice and calm, knowing they got a bit mixed up in the net and they couldn't make the save, but hey, at least it's not a 0-0 overtime. Now that is stressful to go into when everything you've done over the 5 minutes hasn't worked. At least not yet. G2, their defense now turns into offense. Daniel versus Chronic, early challenge, early 50 is good, and with the demo, Gen.G have the ball. Goes to first killer, but good protection off the back wall as Gen.G from the left, from the right have great coverage of the field. And the rally continues to build up pressure. Jack drops it up for the shot. Goes off the cross. G2 still jump up for the save. You're not even out of the woods yet, though, if you're G2. And this can come out to Chronic, and he gets moved out of the way from his own teammate.
Well, you know, some of the passes have been the highlight of this game so far. Atomic's pass, of course, for the first goal was a world-class flick to Beast Mode to double tap. Gen.G are not doing too badly, setting each other up as well. Air double bump pass, air double bump with the goalie as well. The third is back. G2 stacking the box. It's so hard to get all three of them out of the way.
Yeah, everyone's playing so close. They're kind of getting each other's way sometimes, but Atomic with a ball in the corner, bounce that Beast Mode is still trying to work with. But Gen.G don't seem too flustered. Off the ceiling, though, it's Daniel up2. He's always trying to surprise you. Beast Mode leaves it to Atomic, and Beast Mode's still in position to make a play. But with Gen.G having their third man back, it's not been easy to score on a team like Gen.G. I mean, especially when the last two games went to overtime, the last game went to 0-0. G2 definitely not comfortable with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it's been close games. Gen.G looking to come back in this one. That was a failed pinch from G2, giving Gen.G the possession here. Fast-paced game, an explosive game on and off the ball, which has been separated only by an Atomic Beast Mode connection. Those two have been synergizing brilliantly today, unless if I'm not mistaken. It's been 3 assists for Atomic, 3 goals for Beast Mode, and that's all the goals G2 have scored. Not the most high-scoring series here, but it's been enough to put them ahead as we go past half-time in this game. Daniel taking his time again, just perfect play. Now, can he get on the score sheet as well? Flippery set drops down. Didn't really get up and under that one. G2 still going to have that 1-goal lead. Like I said, I'm sure they would love to add to it.
Not been easy in this awkward ball, and Atomic will at least get it to Beast Mode. Now back passing, drawing out that defense. Gen.G will not be baited. They'll even fight for possession. It's Beast Mode. Back wall there. First killer misses. What? Second touch for Beast Mode is off the post. So Atomic tries to make the most out of the situation. Flips wrong into it. First killer breaks through the other G2 member. It left the third man kind of hanging, but G2 hold on. And man, the counterattack from Atomic was almost scary.
Do these guys have an agreement not to score the open nets? Is there something? Did I miss something?
I was waiting for you to say something.
Yeah, they really do be like me for real. I could do that.
I could be an RLCS. Even I could. The Chronic, it's the easiest one. Right to G2. Atomic carrying up high off the ceiling. Daniel moved off the ball. First killer on his tail and even demos him. It's Beast Mode buying time. Reset off the ceiling. And man, Chronic has been so dependable. That backline of Gen.G. G2 just can't get passes. They're trying to work the ceiling, and Gen.G will even force their way there, and great saves out of G2, and Gen.G, they're coming in swinging, but still coming out short. 30 seconds left.
Well, these air dribble bump passes are often considered unstoppable, but G2 have put a clinic on showing how it's done. They have not been easy targets. They've been following up so quickly on each other's defensive touches. And if one player is bumped out of position, there's always a follow-up arriving in time. Now 10 seconds left for Gen.G to work with. Can they get a chance to score? And can they actually take it? It's going the other way, though. They need to work pretty hard to get a goal from this position.
Jack has boost to work with, so his first killer. Chronic's a little bit behind, and G2 put it on the ground and go to match point.
More conventional air dribble plays. We know that Gen.G can, as Jack showed us in Game 2, just play with the standard air dribble. It's not always about the air dribble bump for this team. But let's see, will they keep going back to it? Do they think it's an execution issue on their part, or do they really just think, yeah, G2 are not letting us have that one. Time to try something else.
Man, you made G2 angry. You demoed them off kickoff, and then they started putting Gen.G's backs on the wall as Chronic above the one defender. Second man up, still trying to center this ball. G2 are just all over them, though. That's the type of layered defense that Gen.G haven't been able to peel apart. But now with that midfield presence, Gen.G got the pressure. Down low shot. First killer gets it.
Oh, that's just such a convincing fake by Chronic. In fact, I think it's so convincing he touched the ball there. That's ridiculous. As Chronic drops it down. You know, for him there, I think he's either going with the slightest touch imaginable or a fake. So it's a great range to be playing for. Called it nice and early. First killer is there to drill the ball bottom corner.
Now Gen.G break the dry streak that they were on, and now can they maintain the lead? It's early in the game still. First killer against beast mode off to the side. G2 can't turn this into a counterattack, not with Chronic stepping up for Gen.G, but now breaking it up. Gen.G create more opportunities. First killer at the reset, it almost comes out. And G2 chases Gen.G. There's just small windows of opportunity, small gaps within G2's defense that they can find, and now Daniel creates an opening. An important touch out of First Killer stops Beast Mode's momentum. Yeah,
good turn there by First Killer. He knew he could turn and win. Now Beast Mode's pre-jumped a lot earlier than most would in that position. Still gets a good touch on it. Gen.G will know that that's something they need to watch out for when G2 are firing in all cylinders. Atomic not able to get that crucial bump on the last player for Gen.G there. There's no stopping Beast Mode's aggression in this matchup. He is sending every single challenge. As demos raining off the screen here. We've got a double demo there between Gen.G and G2. It's fast-paced games. I think, you know, when you're playing at this pace, pretty much all bumps are going to be demos.
We just need these demos to have a plan now. Chronic push off the ball, doesn't stop Jack, and it's right at the goal line. Daniel scoops it out. G2 survive.
I don't believe, I think Jack, did he save this as he bumped the goalie out of the way? He might have been bumped back into the ball and technically saved it, but yeah, obviously he had to go there. Otherwise the goalie would have had a free access to the ball. Yeah, these aerial bumps are not really working for Gen.G today. They keep on backfiring. With that one though, I mean, pretty close. So I don't think they're gonna go away from it, it seems. They are gonna stick to it. Try to win this one in the messiest style possible.
Well, works out enough that Gen.G have a lead going into the second half. Beast Mode couldn't get the other touch. So Chronic awaits the G2 approach. Daniel misses now in the midfield. It's Atomic going for the bump on the First Killer, misses that. Beast Mode recovers, hoping for a pass there. Atomic kind of cycling back as G2 have slowed down this ball, but now got to get Gen.G out of their half. Now they've collected boost and they don't really have a lot to work with. An awkward touch as Daniel doesn't want to make this worse. Atomic rolls in the middle, and Jack ready at the net.
Yeah, nice cover by Jack as well, forcing Beast Mode low. That gives Chronic an easy access to the follow-up challenge. Boost steal by Chronic as well. Close games every single time in this series. Teams have been incredibly even. Good recovery by Jack, forcing the third player back again. As he now looks to set up the boost steal. Doesn't happen. Beast Mode too quick in that back corner. But Gen.G are not afraid to continue pressing. Neither team has been afraid to advance, which is a good thing to see. They're continuing to be aggressive and confident, even on a precarious one-goal lead.
Yeah, shots are pretty even too, 6-4. These have been some low-scoring games. At least the last one didn't go to overtime. I don't know about this one, though. Gen.G with a lead with 1 minute left to send us into game 5 as Jack moving forward, just sent right back as Gen.G hope to coalesce one last time as Atomic drops it before Chronic gets in the way, and Jack puts the pressure on right at the goal line, and team bump out of G2. They reorganize, but First Killer with the 50. Daniel gets there in time to kill the pace as Gen.G now have to collect this ball before G2 smell blood in the water. Gen.G just gotta not choke, surely, right? And First Killer sends it as Beast Mode makes the save. But it's G2 that have the weight on their shoulders to look for the equalizer. And Beast Mode just has no one to pass to. Jack with the early jump there in the midfield. G2 try to transition, and Daniel is ready for the long pass. Off the ceiling, down to Atomic, off the backboard, beast mode. Juggles it, down to Atomic though. G2 couldn't get this executed when they needed to the most. It's still up though, like he said, and Gen.G just gotta land this, but Beast Mode got a handle of it, and Daniel has 2 members of Gen.G pre-jumping, and Chronic lands it finally. We go to game 5.
Well, there it is. Like we said, we could that. When you lose 3-2 in Swiss, your game win-loss differential does not take too bad of a hit, so the loser will have a good projection tomorrow. Will it be an early lead? No. Almost an early lead for Gen.G. It will be an early lead for Gen.G. After an initial save, ends up back in the middle. What a kickoff by Gen.G, getting it right back to that close cheating player.
And it was a demo too. And Gen.G just firing on all cylinders. What, the quickest goal we got all series, it feels like. Gen.G ready to go to start that comeback. Up by 1 goal, but you would think that's not enough. And not enough insurance. You're not comfortable with this, but with how these games have been ending, that could just be it.
That could be it. That might just be the 1-0, or nice and early. No overtime needed, but you know, G2 have got a lot of time here to craft a comeback, and it's not going to be a big comeback, at the moment at least. But they're being patient to kick things off, as usual. Daniel, just to this solid air dribble 50-50, something he's been really using a lot to his advantage this season. Air dribble dunks and 50s. The threat of the flip reset and the outplay just usually lets everybody misread him and try to cover high when he's actually just going straight through you.
Jack can maybe have some time to set up his team, and look how much he's being harassed. Give Jack time to think. He was that setup guy in game 2 and a star to watch. Such a selfless player, but he's got more to think about after that one.
What a bump off the back wall. Finally we see a 1-1 score. It was Daniel's center. Jack was inches away from clearing it when Daniel comes and takes him out of the way. And of course, as always, G2's second man trusting the play. Up for the finish. And just inside the first minute, we have a tie game. I think this is already the highest scoring game of the series.
Right? And we thought 1-0, like a 1-0, it's all in, but Chronic turns the play around, it comes out, and Jack crosses with Daniel. Gen.G extend, they got desperate. G2 smell the weakness and sent Gen.G rotating back as fast as they could. Atomic to the side, Daniel to the left. Gen.G can only watch as G2 plan out how they want to score next, but Gen.G managed to have some breathing room a little bit.
Well, definitely a bit, you know, some unnecessary double commits from Gen.G there in offense and even in defense as well, but unpunished. G2 could not capitalize. Rarely do I say that this season. Now a long shot from distance. That's going to go all the way through. First killer puts Gen.G 2-1 up. G2 caught on the counter. It looks like it was Atomic just not pathing straight back towards his goal there. By the time he started doing so, it was already too late.
Wow, that was fast too. Gen.G, a lead with still highest scoring game. You said it, game 5, it all comes down to this, and this little scary kickoff from Gen.G, just like how they started the game. But Atomic puts it off to the side, and the second touch, the 50 now that forces a save out of Daniel. And G2 are having issues moving forward, and Beast Mode does the best that he can, but he's got Jack and first killer all over him, and Atomic and Daniel now have to rotate back. Now at least able, at least sacrifice yourself to slow down the counter attack, but Gen.G depositing this as Beast Mode wants to slouch back, and now with that demo, you think G2 had momentum, and the pass comes back to Beast Mode. It's Gen.G stabilized though.
Yeah, Chronic's just gluing himself to the ball here, being as annoying as possible. G2 looking to create some chaos in the midfield, trying to get a touch that Gen.G can't read. Gen.G are spacing themselves out extremely well right now. It's a difficult structure to break down when they do this, covering different areas of the pitch and trying to let the clock do as much work for them as they can. Oh, huge fake by Jack. First killer says, I like where you're going with that, tries the same idea. Still 2-1 to Gen.G as we now get to the final 2 minutes of the game.
What did you teach me? I don't mind it is a good thing in British or something like that.
That's about, yeah, similar
something
to
like that.
Brilliant.
Brilliant, yeah, I got to learn that one too.
It's up there with, you know, about the best compliment you can get when you don't find something in CJ's head.
Well, G2 Would love a second goal, and Daniel has a touch off the side wall, and now, or the back wall, and Gen.G kind of reorganize themselves. Now about 90 seconds, the ball is just left unattended. So Chronic's gonna grab this one, head back. And Jack is just all up in beast mode's face. Chronic adds to it. And G2 still down by 1, work their way to the orange half. But maintaining possession is just different. Now goes to the side. Beast mode, what's he up to? Jack just escorts it home, 3-1, Gen.G.
Oh, well, beast mode, I mean, he went for it. A really difficult ball here. He just didn't have time to get up there. The ball had far too much pace on it. He tried to get up the wall and meet it. And by the time he's committed to that, there's no going back. It was just way too far over his head. And now Gen.G have got a 2-goal lead. For the first time in the series, one of the teams leads by 2. Can G2 immediately get back to 1? No, it's Gen.G defending their net, defending the back corner boost, but still G2 coming forward. So a nice overhead clear by first killer. And now Gen.G looking for a 4th.
Is he gonna just do it again? Oh my god.
Of course, apparently Jack snipes the post, as has been the theme today. That again looked like he was stretching for that open net, in fairness to him. But in apparently Jack fashion, he has missed the open net.
Well, G2 owe a salary to that post because they need all the help they can get. G2 are down 2, and they were leading the series 2-1. With 30 seconds left, all eyes are on G2 if they can come back, or can Gen.G solidify this the same way they did in the last final of the regional. No longer a one-team region. Beast mode and friends charge forward, but man, the midfield's been difficult. Double tap as G2's defense starts to be threatened, or continues to be threatened, I should say, as Jack off the cross keeps G2 camped out as they come out with almost nothing in Game 5, and Gen.G defeat one of the top teams of North America.
3rd straight win against G2 for this Gen.G roster.